After 78 days of total blockade, Israel has finally let a trickle of aid into Gaza. But with bombs still falling and children dying, is it too little? Too late? After nearly 3 months of total lockdown, Israel has opened the gates slightly to let a handful of aid trucks into Gaza. Just 5 trucks. That's it. After 78 long, devastating days, this tiny flow of baby food and essential supplies is all that's come through, as pressure from the United States begins to mount. But let's be clear, for Gaza's 2.1 million people, those 5 trucks, they're barely a drop in the ocean. The UN says Gaza needs 500 to 600 trucks a day, every single day, just to start easing the deep hunger and desperate shortages gripping the population. So while 5 trucks may sound like a step forward, it's not even close to what's needed. A UN spokesperson said today that unless aid is allowed in through official UN channels, real change simply won't happen. Israel. So why the sudden move from Israel? Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been under fire, not just from the international community, but also from Israel's closest ally, the United States. Washington reportedly warned Israel not to cross a red line, not to let starvation become a weapon of war in Gaza. Today's tiny shipment might be an attempt to respond, but critics say this gesture is symbolic at best, and unless more trucks start pouring in soon, the criticism is only going to get louder. But while aid crawls in at a snail's pace, the violence on the ground hasn't slowed at all. In just the last 24 hours, at least 100 people, including dozens of children, have been killed in a relentless wave of Israeli airstrikes. Across Gaza, the sounds of artillery thunder through the air, while smoke and dust rise from bombed-out buildings in northern areas like Beit Hanun, Gaza City, and Jabalia. Israeli tanks and troops are now pushing deeper into Gaza as part of a major operation dubbed Gideon's Chariots. The goal? Netanyahu says it's total defeat of Hamas and a full-scale occupation of Gaza. But it's not just the military offensive that's drawing concern. Israel is also forcing hundreds of thousands of people to flee south, trying to push civilians into crowded relocation zones as the army continues its advance. Critics say this mass displacement, combined with near-starvation conditions and non-stop bombardments, could lead to a full-scale humanitarian catastrophe. So here's the big question. Will Israel ramp up the aid to avoid global backlash? Or are we witnessing the start of something even more devastating? Stay with us for updates from the front lines, analysis from experts, and the human stories behind the headlines. This crisis is far from over, and the world is watching.